They talk a lot lately about this lack of empathy in our world, in our society right now, where people are just becoming maybe closed off or self-absorbed or just, how is it going to benefit just me? And empathy is dwindling a little bit. How important is empathy, being an empath, and how do you define what that is, empath and empathy?
Empath for me is somebody who is just very connected and kind of feel what you feel and see what you see. Almost this superpower to step into someone else's shoes. And that is a highly creative and powerful place to be. No matter what business you find yourself in, what circumstance, what relationship, that ability will really set you apart. But again, sometimes it takes you down the wrong path because you take everything as you and you lose yourself in the process.
Would you say you are an empath?
Yeah. Big time, and having that kind of awareness and that sensitivity, being able again to see the whole picture where a lot of people only see 3 colors and you see like every color in the rainbow, the possible spectrum.
Yeah. So do you ever feel like you're rowing the boat in an opposite direction? And it's harder because they're not getting the empathy, but you are filled with it?
Yeah. I think you have
I
to.
say that because you and I talked about that I'm similar in that way. Sometimes you do feel like, how come that person isn't responding in an empathetic way when that's human nature, it's the human condition, why would they not care? But not everybody operates that way, I guess.
Yeah, well, 2 things. I think the first thing is you can't really expect anything from anybody. So if you're walking in thinking, well, I am very caring and empathetic, so therefore they're going to reciprocate, you're going to always be in a losing pile.
Probably.
Yeah, you're always going to be disappointed with that. That's not a good stance to be in.
Yeah, setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting. Even that, I love that book. It's The Languages of Love, where they talk about how people, they not only express love, but they want to receive it in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think even something like that, where you just look at, okay, this is how I tick, this is how my brain works, this is how I feel and perceive the world, you're totally different. How do you need me to show caring for you? And how can I educate you on how you can treat me? And I think most of us don't go there. We're people pleasing and we're perfecting all these interactions, but we don't ever go, I'm teaching people how I deserve to be treated, and I'm going to honor myself first. And by example, they will learn that, or they won't, and they'll go away, and that's perfectly okay. That's actually sometimes a really good thing.
If they sort of just drop off and they're not there, they weren't necessarily meant to be there, right? They were there just for their own purposes, and then you've had that happen. Some people just sort of phase out a little bit on their own. You didn't phase them out, they just sort of phased out.
Yeah, and as you grow and as you change, I mean, there's a season for everything, right? And I think a lot of times our relationships are the same way. There are seasons, and it doesn't mean somebody won't come back later. I never shut the door to anybody. And some relationships just ebb and flow and change over the years, but the ones where really you're not included and you're only there for them and serving a role, those are the ones that are really important to be able to let go